Your ears do not deceive you. After 7 years, a new challenge, a new game. It's Crystal Palace in the Premier League. We want European football in the first season, and we want to take these Eagles to a place they've never been before. Looking at the squad, we're going to be clearing out a lot of the dead weight and bringing in some young prospects in the attack. We want this team flying. We said goodbye to a lot of players already this season. Jeff Schlupp, out the door. Get some of that youth deadweight out. One of the talisman, the backup striker, Edouard. I think you'll be happy with our replacement. Look who walks in the building. Ademola Lookman. It was a decent chunk of money for Crystal Palace. What a signing, 32 million. He's been rumored to join in real life this summer. Roma want him, Palace want him. Palace got him. Into the bright lights. Gabriel Sara. 15.7 million, decent bit of business here. The signings were done, and that means we enter the Premier League season. First up, Leicester at the KP, the newly promoted side back in the league, and they were firing early. Ball whipped in over the top. 1-0 to the Foxes early on in the first half, and they kept knocking on the door. What a save by Dean Henderson, and we were on the back foot in this game. But Ademola Lookman, quick on the counter, turns, slots it in the back of the net to draw the Eagles level. But Leicester weren't done there, though. They had taken us to the sword in the first half, cut it right back, 2-1 before the break. Just wasn't good enough today. Another cutback, another goal, 3-1 before 50 minutes, and they didn't stop. 4-1 3 minutes later, 3 cutbacks. It just wasn't looking like it was our day. But then we get a nice little look on the counter here. Ademola Lookman, where is the center back at this point? He's clean through on goal. Bang! Slots home his second on his debut. Like, does anyone want to step up and stop this guy? He's through again. 15 minutes to go for the hat trick on his debut. You gotta get the ball. Is there another chance for us in this game? One more turn, 85th minute. Just wasn't enough. Just wasn't to be on that first day of the season. Lookman plays well. Defense, not so much. Gotta be so much better against Arsenal at Selhurst Park. Lookman's hungry. And so were we. Eze slotted through on your right peg. That is nasty work, Eberechi Eze. Doesn't get much more top corner than that. We were firing on the counter. Lookman again in the first half. He's played so well. Here come Arsenal. Henderson has got to be such a big player for us this season. 2 huge saves in the first half. And then on the counter, Sara, acres of space. You got to tuck your chances. 2-0 against Arsenal before halftime. He's loving it. Our new signings are clicking. Henderson still has to do so much work here. Look at him. But it wasn't until long that we got a corner. Big ball over the top. Yeah, Arsenal, you gotta take your chances. 3-0 to the Eagles. Sara with the double. Big wake-up call to the rest of the league. Next up, Cole Palmer and Chelsea in the Carabao. Really want to win a trophy in the first season. Playing the highlights. Got lucky enough to win a penalty in the 68th minute, and Eze. Of course he's going to slot that one home. Needed to hold the line, though, in the last 15 minutes. Huge chance for Chelsea. 85th minute, Nicholas Jackson right at Henderson. And we keep the cup dream alive at the bridge. Next up, Brentford at the G-Tech. Wizza, he's been firing him in to begin the season. Need to keep that win streak alive after Chelsea in the cup and Arsenal in the league. Sara slotted through. Just trying to do a little too much on that one. But a corner, Munoz in the air. Love the way we're playing on these corner kicks. 1-0 inside 30 minutes. Another chance here. Look at the passing. Sara, bang. Always going to slot that thing in. 3 goals in 3 games. Brentford had a little bit about him, though. Mbemo, just got to get tighter on that one. Get in the comments with some defender options. Got to get tighter than that. I was worried when the injury icon flashed over Elise, but he wasn't. Oh my God. Screamer to put us up 3-1. Doesn't get much more top bins than that. And how badly do we need that one? Brentford next attack. Ivan Toney. You're not saving those. Terrible defending again. But thank God for Lookman. He's been on fire. 4-2. Another win. Deadline day comes and goes. I tried to sign a left back, Chilwell and Cucurella, but Chelsea just weren't having it at all. Riedewald leaves in our only move of the day. Next up, Wolves. Trying to continue that hot scoring start. Sara, Lookman, everybody's firing it in. Elise joined that group after his banger against Brentford. Oh, almost does it again right there. Struck so sweetly. But thankfully, Lookman, continuing his impressive start, you can't let him get one-on-one with these defenders. He is always going to punish you. That one goal was all we needed. Another 3 points. Next up, Emery and Villa at Villa Park. Really want to keep this hot start going. It looked good from the start. Eze finds so much space. We just have way too much speed on the counter. He's never missing those. Elise's turn, late in the first half. Finds some space, flashes wide. Just not good enough. Second half got rolling and Lookman, oh my god. An absolutely disgusting challenge by Youri Tielemans. Early shower. You just can't do that. Emery's got them cooking though. 10 men. Didn't matter. Matty Cash attacking it at the back post. It looked like we were going to drop points in this one, but we weren't done yet. Eze inside to Elise. Acres of space. What a save by Martinez. Celebrates like he just won the World Cup again. Guy's milking it so hard for the cameras. What a little gremlin. Oh, you can't do that to us. Eze, work it. So much space again. He could pass it. No, he won't. 2-1 stoppage time winner. And just like that, it's 3 wins in a row for the Eagles. We looked on fire heading into a home game against Fulham. Willian won a penalty early in the first half. Henderson saves, but just right back to him. And we were down for the first time in a long time here at Selhurst Park. But not if Lookman has anything to say about it. Another one-on-one. He is firing. The kid's hot. The kid is hot, but we weren't hot enough. Gotta get tighter, Mitchell. 2-1, a heartbreaking defeat. It's alright though. Keep your heads held high. Carabao Cup against mighty Manchester United. Don't know if I'll see you next season. Swap Johnson as the cup keeper, and immediately that lack of match fitness showed. Bruno, you gotta be doing better than that. If you can't take those chances against us, you best believe we're gonna take those chances against you. Michael Elise, scissor kick. Let's see that one again. That's how you finish Bruno. Onana, pick that out. United managed to get back into it. First Maguire, then Højlund. Clanks the crossbar. Back to Denmark you go. McTominay, the hero, tried to save him late in the game, but Johnston, absolutely not to be beaten today. You know how we come on this counter. United couldn't take their chances, but Eze, absolutely not missing his. 2-0, and Ten Hag and the boys scratching their heads. Quick turnaround, back to OT on the weekend in the Prem. And right back to where we started. Again, this counter. Harry Maguire's going to step up on Lookman like that? Yeah, I don't think so, buddy. Onana, sit your ass down. We got everybody cooking. Lookman again. This guy's a joke. Try and tackle him all you want. Take your bow. Did our best to make things a little bit interesting at the end. Tariq Mitchell. Just an absolutely beautiful ball right into the path of Scott McTominay. Still not enough. United shouldn't need our help to score goals. Here's the team sheet for the next game at Nottingham Forest. I just want to focus on that attack for a second. We got everybody smiling. Playing the highlights again. Finding Lookman over the top. This should be about as easy as a tap in. Decides to go for the long range effort. Just not enough. In over the top though. Gabriel Sara. Sweet as you like. What a finish. She's off about 7 pints. They're absolutely losing it at Selhurst. Forest, though, 15 minutes to go, looking to wipe those smiles off our faces. Anthony Elanga just loses his man right there. Needed to defend better on that one. And that's all she wrote. 1-1, drop points at Selhurst. Fans got a chance to take their drinks up north. Long road trip to St. James Park in Newcastle. And Bruno G. These guys looked hungry. Early in the game, whip ball in. Jonathan David. Couldn't get the finish right, but they kept on working. Anthony Gordon slips by 1, slips by 2, calmly slots it in. We were down early. Couldn't make anything happen going forward again today. Henderson had to be so big again. He was ready for it, but unfortunately our defense lacking a bit. Jonathan David 2-0 in the 83rd. They weren't done there. 86th minute, the icing on the cake. Gavi from Barcelona. Eddie Howe had them firing. Drop points again. Our record was starting to get a little bit shaky. Had to turn it around though. Next fixture, top of the table Spurs, top scorer Son. Needed to do better today. This is the lineup. Everybody's smiling. Everybody's happy. Lookman wants another hat trick to play catch up. Take this guy out. We looked lost again. Spurs creating all the chances. Second half, they got a corner. Second ball, Richarlison finds a little space where no one's saving. Runs right to Ange. All right, brown noser. You don't see Eze doing stuff like that. Spurs kept it rolling though. Son, who's gonna save that? Son extends his lead on the top scorer list. Lookman saw that and said, okay, it's time to take over. Gets a nice little breakaway. Doesn't have the angle. Vicario comes up with a huge save. Another ball over the top. Lookman, he really wants to catch up. He's still playing catch up. 2-1. It was just a consolation though, and another loss. Back in the cup against Middlesbrough at the Riverside. Tough place to play. We really wanted to come out firing. I'm trying to tell the boys, get back to the offense. Get back to winning ways. Chip over the top. Not enough. Lookman, he brings the firepower. You know he's finishing that. 1-0. It looked like we were back on top. Boro fighting hard. Played a ball into the channels. A lovely stand-up cross. Henderson had to get down. And I'm telling these guys, keep the passing. Keep the crisp attacking play. Slots it through. Lookman, he's never missing that chance. Strike them all down. Exactly what we needed. Back to winning ways. 2 goals for Lookman. This is how the table's looking after 10. Sitting comfortably in 7th. What a hot start. Next up was Ipswich, who were down in 16th. Elise trying to find the flare. I love to see it. 70th minute. We're still looking. We're still rolling. Knew we needed to score. That was a big save. Got lucky enough to win a penalty. 5 minutes to play. I think you know what's going to happen. Eberiche Eze. Take a bow. And we were flying. 2 wins in a row. I don't think we left South London in weeks. Another home game against the vet, former player Nathaniel Klein. Everton proved harder to break down than I thought. Big save by Henderson on his near post. We had one chance. We knew we had to take it. Lookman over the top. Gabriel Sara. Oh, how many times are we going to see that this season? He's got so much flair. Again, 1-0. All we needed to keep rolling up the table. I wanted to play the first few matches just to see how the guys gel, just to see how the team played, but now that we're getting towards the January transfer window, I thought we'd speed things up to include the full season into the quarters of the Carabao Cup. This was how the squad was looking. Everybody's developing so well. Lookman, Eze, and Elise specifically. Those are going to be our front three. Playing the big games before January. We don't really have the funds to make any big signings, but it was off to the Etihad to take on Pep in Manchester City, and we obviously don't need to work on the attack in January. I'm loving the way we're playing. Sara has an early shot right here. We were kind of all over them. I mean, City is one of the toughest places to play, maybe the toughest place to play in England, but we were forcing Ederson to make some great saves. Take a look at this one from Doucouré. Oof, caught him off his line a little bit. But everybody's absolutely gelling. Doucouré gets another crack at it and just goes over the top of the bar right there. I honestly think Eze and Elise will get to like 90 overall. 33rd minute, Lookman pounces. Look at the way this team's rolling right now. 1-0 up at City. Toughest place to play in England. Not for these boys. 67th minute, Erling got in though. Yeah, that's always going to happen. What are you going to do? You can't stop that. We were on the front foot in the first half. Hendo, he tried his best to come out, to be fair to him. Needed to make another big save here. Look at that. After pressuring them all throughout the first half, we had one little chance at the end. Francia forces a big save out of Ederson in the 86th minute. And that was that. Rolling through to the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup. It might be a Mickey Mouse trophy for some teams, but for Crystal Palace, this is the kind of silverware that we absolutely want in the first season especially. Needed to add something to the cabinet. Villa's a tough place to go, though. I think we might have actually been at home for this one. Didn't matter. Ollie Watkins, he's never missing that. These late rounds in these cups might be a bit too much for this side against the top 6. Chance here in the last minute. Ademola Lookman, he's basically even odds to score. I couldn't believe he missed that one. But just like that, the Carabao dream was dead at the hands of Emery and Villa. And we were looking to the FA Cup at this point for any chance of silverware. Let's look at that miss again. I mean, that is just whiskers. No pressure on him either. He's got to bag that in. This was the table halfway through the season. We were in 3rd place, just 4 points off the top. I had a little bit of a short list. We couldn't afford really anybody. I had about 15 million to play with. I really wanted this Burundian from OGC Nice, but as you can see, they They didn't accept any of my offers, so we tried to go in for Cucurella here. They wanted 30 million for him. Yeah, you can piss off. So it was over to United. Amad Diallo off the bench. We welcome into the team. I mean, this is a guy that loves scoring against the big clubs. One of the best young prospects in football right now. I tried to get this Ukrainian center back from Bournemouth. I only had about 7 million to play with, and Iraola said absolutely no shot. Third round of the FA Cup was next. We were into January. All it took was a little header in the 39th minute from Mateta, who started the game. Hasn't done anything all season. We'll probably move him away. But 1-0 was all it took away at Exeter City. Next up was Arsenal at the Emirates. Again, playing these big 6 games. We knew we had to pack it in tightly. Ødegaard has a good chance 10 minutes in. Just such an unfortunate deflection right there. Dean Henderson caught totally wrong-footed on the shot. It was a good block by Guehi, but we knew we needed to do a little bit more. Arsenal kept coming. Ødegaard again, 36 minutes in. Henderson with some big saves. The attack left a lot to be desired in the first half. This is a team that's third in the table. Eze had to bail us out with a composed finesse shot 50 minutes in. We're still cruising, and we're still in a place that I don't think anyone predicted at the beginning of the season. That's a gorgeous finish again, right through Ramsdale. And it was getting a little bit chippy in this game. Saka was on a yellow. He made the mistake of sliding in on Wharton. Could have killed him. He was off. 10-men Arsenal led us back into this game late. Wharton has a great shot. Ramsdale's reflexes. We had a breakaway with about 4 minutes to go at the end, but I absolutely messed it up. Eze pulls it back, finds Mateta, and Partey just bodies him. So kind of a disappointing draw, 1-1. But again, where we are in the table, keeping it moving though. We were into the 5th round of the FA Cup against Everton, into April in the league. We had found our footing in 5th. Villa were catching up. We were right level with Spurs and Liverpool, but we wanted that silverware. It was off to Goodison, 5th round of the FA Cup against Deitch and the boys, and he had them ticking. Early on, Jack Harrison finds some space, finds a shot, finds a goal. They didn't stop there though. Harrison inside to Danjuma. Johnston was in net for this one. Maybe a mistake, but absolutely nothing you can do about that. Elise tried one. Eze, we knew we had to fight for this if we wanted a result. And Lookman at the back post, so scrappy. Probably an and one as well right there. You can't do that to the Nigerian at the back post. He's always going to make you pay. And unfortunately, Everton also made us pay. Look at Ashley Young with the one-time cross. You know he doesn't have that in his locker. Danjuma at the double before halftime. It was 3-1. Hugs all around for the Toffees. But Palace weren't out of it yet. Elise with a pot shot again. Forces a big save out of Pickford. We needed 2 goals if we wanted to at least force a replay. Or I think it's maybe extra time in the round of 16. Lookman with a ton of composure there to finish. But unfortunately not enough. The cup dream was dead. We were out at the hands of Villa and Everton in the space of about 2 weeks. So all the focus now on the Premier League, trying to find those European places. We have to come in 6th. Villa breathing hot down our neck. Lookman looking hot as ever, not just in the boots, but in his form. We played Spurs away. Pedro Porro picked that out. They were up inside 10 minutes. North London was absolutely rocking. The cup dream was dead, and maybe you can say that the pressure was starting to get to these guys a little bit. Sara found his way through in the 35th. Not the paciest, but takes a great angle. It took a gorgeous Vicario save to deny him. Spurs ended up winning a penalty in the 52nd minute, doubled their advantage through Ciro Immobile, but we did end up getting a nice little consolation here at the end. Elise taking a couple touches, bang, right into the bottom corner. Again, just a consolation. We find ourselves falling 2-1. More drop points in London, and it was off to Anfield. One of the toughest fixtures of the season, honestly. Liverpool, the Gegenpress press was all over us early. Gravenberg dancing, Nunez heading. We were 1-0 down at halftime. We were conceding first again in another big game, and you could start to feel the pressure closing in. It was a chippy affair. Lerma was on a yellow, and yeah, you can't do that. If we were going to salvage any result, it had to come with 10 men. In the 90th minute, Lookman plays it over to Elise. I thought he could get through, but didn't really have the space. Trent almost picks the ball off him. He luckily passes it over to Wharton, who finds a brilliant pass. Amad Diallo absolutely loves scoring against the Reds, and he does it again. A stoppage time equalizer. saves us the embarrassment of another defeat, and we roll out of Anfield with the luckiest point of the season. Look at that composure from the young man. Absolutely poached him from Manchester United. I can't believe they let him go for 10 million. But this was the game right here. 5 games to go, firmly in the run-in. Newcastle United, they had the game in hand in us. We were now down in 7th, level on points. Embarrassed us 3-0 at St. James's Park early in the season. We wanted our revenge at Selhurst. This is a game we absolutely had to win. And at halftime, you can see the boys weren't exactly cooking. Had to make some changes. Ahmad, obviously after his crucial goal, he came back in the team at halftime. It was a necessary change. Henderson had to be big on this one. And look at the super sub. Diallo running down the wing. Where are you going, son? Cut back. Lookman. How crucial of a goal is that going to be? Sambas through Dan Burn in the defense. Newcastle had a chance at the end. Henderson, equally as big as Lookman and Diallo, though. And we took the 3 points to draw level with Newcastle with just 5 games to go. This is a look at the table. Newcastle again, the game in hand. Here's our final 4 fixtures. Fulham, United, Wolves, and Villa. Not exactly the best run in Villa at this point. We're like a top 4 side. But it was over to Craven Cottage first. We had to take care of business. I wanted nothing but wins in this one. Eze lays it in firmly. Lookman, I mean, just so composed. Is he ever really going to miss those? It's all falling down, but not for Crystal Palace. It became apparent pretty early in the second half that whatever sort of pressure we were facing in the last games, it did not affect us in this one. Cheek to Corey, a rare offensive opportunity going forward, and a tidy finish, but we weren't done there. Eze, look at that cross with the outside of his foot, and then Lookman to trap it down in the 6-yard box like that. If he doesn't end up in the golden boot race, I don't know what's going on. A great team win from the boys. 3-0, a resounding victory, especially when that goal difference is going to be so critical. Checking out the golden boot statistics here, Lookman's down in 6 with 17. He's scoring a goal about every 2 games, but when we hop into these, it really feels like he's scoring about twice a match. This was the table. Level with Newcastle. They had a +2 goal difference against us, but their run-in included Brighton at home, Man United away, and on the last day of the season, they had to travel to Brentford. So our work was cut out for us. We knew we had to keep winning. We knew we had to keep scoring, more importantly, because even though they were level, they were superior. And early on against Manchester United. Like I said, we knew the offense needed to show out. Ademola Lookman continues his form. Elise, just strikes the top of the net. That's pretty much exactly how I reacted to it. Header in the second. Lookman makes it 2. 60th minute, we were up 2-0. We were cruising. We were absolutely cruising in this game. United didn't really have a good defense. They had Forsen in there. They had this right back youth guy named Spencer. Didn't really look like they wanted to give us a game, which, fine by me. Ademola Lookman for his hat trick. He's barreling through. Martinez is pretty fast. You knew we had to strike it. I mean, what a finish. Gets a little bit of luck from the post, but he completes his perfect hat trick in style. Outside of the box. They had Tom Heaton in net. I know Onana's not had the best season, but that was probably a mistake from Ten Hag. But speaking of mistakes, look at the clock. 96th minute. Refs absolutely got to blow up. We know how important this goal difference is going to be at the end of the season, too. That was a killer way to end the game. Next up, it was Wolves at Molineux. Honestly, such a trap game. I played the highlights. Lookman had a chance. Henderson had a huge save on the long cross. But it wasn't until the 28th minute they got another crack at it. Pedro Neto punishes us. So just like that, we were 1-0 down. 60th minute, we were fighting hard. We knew there weren't going to be that many chances left. How many times has this guy bailed us out? How big of a hero is he for the South London side? I might buy a jersey, honestly, at this point. And then you want to talk about heroes. Last highlight of the game. Last chance for Mateta to make his mark in a Palace shirt. Barely used him all season, honestly, other than the cup. But how important of a goal is that? He knows his role at this point. He knows Lookman's the talisman, but so unselfish. And it was off to the TVs to watch what happened. Brighton beat Newcastle. So if we take a look at the table here, we actually had some business to attend to. Jefferson Lerma, a solid sub for us in the first season, but He's off to Spurs. I didn't really have a use for him. I think we're going to get a replacement anyway. I'll have to ask you guys in the chat. But this is the table. On the final day, we had Aston Villa. Look at all those sides. If we lost, we knew we'd get 6th. Liverpool and Arsenal were breathing down our necks. Liverpool had Wolves at home. Arsenal had Everton at home. You got to think that those teams would probably win. So against Aston Villa, who are 2nd in the league, by the way, we knew we had to get a result. The manager's ready. The boys are ready. Absolutely have to win. This is the team we've rolled with all season. Eze and Elise developing so well. Here we go. Ademola Lookman climbing his way up the top scorer charts. Alex Moreno's in! Oh, man. We haven't conceded first in like 10 games. Terrible start. You gotta wonder if the pressure's gotten to us here on the final day of the season. No updates in from the other matches, but as it stands, I think we're probably looking at Conference League.
Cross could be useful.
Oh my God, what a save, Henderson. Where is this coming from? Oh no. Get out there!
Well, plenty of power there, but
John McGinn's rolling. Ollie Watkins is rolling. Henderson's out. Oh my God. The boys are collapsing. The boys are absolutely collapsing here. I can't believe this.
While it's a decent finish, it should go in at that.
Nah. We need a sub. This is terrible. Sarah, I hate to say it. Ahmad. You're playing right wing. It's all we can do.
Win it back.
Oh no. Oh my God. Henderson, you gotta come out!
Full marks for trying it.
Oh my God.
Really bruised the crossbar.
Oh my God, that would have been game over. Just one goal, one quick goal. Lookman.
In with a chance.
Yes! Yes! Okay. Lifeline. Right after halftime. Yep, you can flex on him. Don't let Zaniolo beat you, Mitchell. I know you're quicker than that, Mitchell.
Racing away
I know you're better than that, Mitchell.
Really good.
They're loving these crosses. I love turning the ball over to them in the final third.
And a goal.
What the hell?
When you can put them away.
I'm playing so sloppy. I mean, it's a big save by Henderson, but where are you going? It's so tight at the top. It's really hard to say one way or the other. Oh my God, Ahmad's through.
Oh no.
Ahmad. Yes! Yes! Okay. Once again, back in the game.
It's a top-class finish.
Tidy finish. I mean, he's played so well at the back end of the season. Oh no.
Now maybe the really short route to goal. And there is the goal to make it a hat-trick.
Ollie Watkins.
Finishing there for all.
Every time we scored today,
Well, I think that
they've come right back.
he does really well to pick the right path.
It's the layoffs. I mean, it's a great finish, but
Struck with such
Henderson again. He looks like a goaltender. I mean, we're throwing the kitchen sink at it at this point.
Here it is now.
8 minutes to go.
Scott.
It's a third goal for
Run! Yes, Munoz. Absolutely not the guy I want in this situation. Yes! Get the ball! We found a lifeline through an unlikely source here.
to be under
Fast. Get that out. Get that out!
And it is. He's done it.
5 goals. Jacob Ramsey this time. It's just not our day. Oh my God. We've got some unfinished business in season 2. I can tell you that already. Awful. Absolutely awful.
No points.
There's not much you can say other than Ollie Watkins and Aston Villa are just too powerful for us. I mean, it's an 8-goal thriller, but we're on the wrong end of a 5-3 right there. Liverpool drew. Arsenal drew. What does that mean? Okay, 6th place. Just couldn't get the goal difference right, even though we were cruising in the last part of the season. 22 wins, 72 points. It doesn't get much better than that, but Villa on their day, just too much for us. It was an incredible finish to the season, even if the results didn't go the way we wanted to. The fact that we were even in the hunt for a Champions League place on the final day says a lot about this team. Gonna quickly go through the final goal tallies and the stats from the end of the year. Gonna show you our short list. I want you guys to get in the comments with any sort of suggestions. Lookman was so important for us this season. 27 goals in all comps, 22 in the league. Eze was our only other double-digit goal scorer. Michael Elise, he only scored 9, but 9 of the best goals I think I've ever seen. Munoz had 5. Sara, I'm not really sure what his fate's going to be. We've got Ahmad coming through. We maybe have some other prospects that we're looking at, but definitely a solid player. Francia and Diallo are 2 guys that are absolutely for the future in this team. So I'm not too sure. This was the final squad that we had. So again, really need to maybe work on the defense. Definitely need a reserve fullback. Mateta's probably leaving, so we could look at a backup striker, or we could honestly just keep him. We know Lerma's out the door. I like Richards there on the bench, but we do need some help. So this is our short list. We had Jorginho Rutter. It's kind of redundant now due to the fact that we signed Sara and we've got another attacking midfielder coming through. So Anthony Robinson, somebody that definitely interests me. 88 pace is nothing to scoff at. We had Yves Bissouma if we want to get the Malian connection with Cheik Doucouré. And then this guy from Burundi. I really like how Crystal Palace have an identity of attracting African players, specifically African midfielders. So I kind of want to keep that realism up in this save and get a lot of Africans to fill out the team, just because it's something that they've done for the last few years. This guy, Chadi Riyad, though, is one that they're looking for too. So if you guys want me to keep it realistic and get Riyad from Barcelona, I can do that. But yeah, Frank Kessie's probably going to be our number 1 target. His stats are too good to have him playing in Saudi, especially at the age of 27. He's probably going to come back into one of the top 5 leagues. But yeah, let me know down in the comments. I really want to keep that realism. Like I said, the African pipeline as well. So that's how season 1's going to finish. Leave a comment if you enjoyed the episode, any suggestions, any potential transfer targets. I know we've got some unfinished business in episode 2. See you guys then. Peace.